What's up guys, Freddy Fishfinger here and I'm bringing you some more VGC. I'm still using the team that I used in the April International Challenge. I used it in the last episode as well, so there's plenty of videos on this team if you guys want to check them out if you haven't already. In the future we've got top tier coming up and then I might use a different team as well. I don't know, we'll see how we go. But in the meantime, my opponent's packing some interesting stuff. I know that some of these Pokemon have become a little bit more common recently, particularly Drifblim. I'm just trying to think what to do exactly. I might just lead Salamence to get some Intimidate-offs. Intimidate-offs. Yes, that's a word, I think, maybe. Lead Incineroar. Incineroar's just been really good when I've been leading with it recently, so I think I'll continue doing that. I think I want to... Interesting decisions to make here. I think I want to bring Mudsdale. And I'm trying to think out of Milotic, Tapu, Bulu, and Metagross as to what's the last thing. Mudsdale's good because it packs some fighting type moves, and then also Arcanine doesn't appreciate it. But then I've got an issue with Tapu Fini, so I might bring Tapu Bulu because of the Tapu Fini. Also does well against Porygon Z, also has superpower. That's how it does well with Porygon Z, and then in addition can hurt Kartana. So I think that's the best way to go. Kartana's turning out to be many of my problems in VGC with this team, actually, at the moment. I know that it's funny because I do have both Incineroar and Salamence with Fire Blast, but it's interesting to see how it's still a bit of a problem. Now here is an interesting prospect. Now, I'm kind of scared by the Drifblim because I don't really know exactly what it can do. I'm not super familiar with it. The good thing is Incineroar can fake out against the Tapu Fini. Now, he's increased his special defense, and I think he'll also have Unburden. That's probably why this is doing really well. Okay, well, he won't be able to stop me from going for a Supersonic Sky Strike, so I'll do that against the Drifblim, and then I'll just fake out against the Tapu Fini. I think that's my best go here. Tapu Fini won't be able to Ice Beam, Moonblast, or Scald or Hydro Pump, or whatever it's going to do in this particular turn, should I opt to fake out against it. And Supersonic Sky Strike will just hurt the Drifblim. He could go out into a Kartana. It's still going to do a fair bit of damage. Arcanine means I do get intimidated, but that won't appreciate it either. I don't think he really has any Pokemon he can bring in, which really is terrifying for me. So it protects Tapu Fini. That's more or less nothing at this point. And then Drifblim goes Tailwind. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So now he's got a Tailwind up. Yep. I couldn't fake out against the Drifblim anyway because of the Ghost type, obviously, but I thought I'd point that out anyway. Let's see if we can kill off this Drifblim with the Supersonic Sky Strike. I know it doesn't have high defenses, but it has a lot of HP, so I think we should, because I haven't had my attack lowered or anything like that. Obviously, he doesn't have a Focus Sash either. Yeah, Drifblim goes down, so that's cool. Salamence is obviously not in the best position right now, given that it's likely to be outsped by everything, given that Tailwind, and my opponent can bring in a couple of different threatening things, Porygon Z being one of the many. So I want to go Protect with Salamence to preserve it a little bit. I dropped my touch pen and caught it in like the same motion. That was crazy. You almost wish you record stuff like that, but I don't know how I could. Anyway, protecting this, and then obviously I'm going to go second if I'm taunting because of the Tailwind, but I can go Flare Blitz on the Porygon Z, so I'm going to do that. Should I knock it down low enough, I could maybe bring Incineroar back in later and go for a Fake Out, which should serve me well, particularly because I expect a Z conversion here. Let's see this. Yeah, it's just a regular Z, so I'm expecting Z conversion, which, I mean, if it puts it as an Ice type, that's fine. Could also, oh no, he just goes straight up for a attack, Breakneck Blitz. He goes Salamence, or? Yeah, well, I mean, I'm behind Protect, so that's okay. And that does so much damage despite the Protect. Holy crap. Muddy Water will suck a little bit, but I should be able to live because it's a spread move. Not well, but I do live it, so there's that. Porygon Z is not known for its bulk, so it will not appreciate this Flare Blitz. And even still, I can bring Incineroar back in later and go for a Fake Out. Wow, that's actually surprising. He's probably got a fair amount of bulk on that Porygon Z. Okay, let's see. What are my options? I can bring in... I mean, I can bring in Mudsdale, but like it's not going to be appreciating. How many turns of Tailwind is left? Tailwind's got 2 turns, I think it is. Yeah, 2 turns. Okay, so I might attempt to bring in Tapu Bulu and then protect the Incineroar, at least for the moment. Preserves Salamence, which could be good for an Arcanine Taunt, for an Arcanine or a Kartana Intimidate. Preserving the Incineroar on this turn. Also, Muddy Water shouldn't be that much of an issue. The Porygon Z could go for an Ice Beam, but it seems to have Shadow Ball instead, so that's interesting. Muddy Water, yeah. Okay, so the Bulu's taking a lot of damage. I'm not terribly worried about Porygon Z getting its health back right now. What I do want to do is I do want to go for a Horn Leech on the Tapu Fini, but I fear that might be a bit predictable. So I might go for a Horn Leech on the Porygon Z, and I might swap Incineroar out into Salamence, because out of all of my Pokemon, it's the most expendable. At least of what I can tell. And obviously, if I'm taking only a Muddy Water on this slot, Salamence will take it the best. So that's my plan there. Intimidate does nothing to benefit me at this point, but that's not the reason why I've opted for it. Porygon Z goes Shadow Ball, likely to be on Tapu Bulu, won't kill, don't kill, good. Muddy Water, hopefully Tapu Bulu can live this. I'm not sure, to be honest. No, it doesn't. Damn it. That's unfortunate. Okay. So that really sucks, because now I don't have a good way of taking down the Tapu Fini. Oh, not good. I do have... I want to keep Incineroar around, but... Maybe if I bring Mudsdale in, that means I get the first pickings with Salamence, and that'll allow me to go for something like a Draco Meteor against Porygon Z. It will also hurt whatever he brings in at this point, whether it be Snorlax, Arcanine, or Kartana, should he choose to do that. And then I can just go for a Heavy Slam on the Tapu Fini and just kind of scout how much that actually does. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. The Draco Meteor on the Porygon Z will be able to kill it. Kartana, look, it's going to live, but... I'd be able to get off some damage given the fact that it doesn't have very good special defense. But Porygon Z should go down. I know it's bulkier, but it's a Draco Meteor. It's from a Salamence. It should hurt. And again, I mean, Salamence does offer me some speed, though. I was going to say it's the most expendable, but... Okay, so Salamence avoids. I do have an Assault Vest on Mudsdale, so it should be living. Not well. It's a crit, that's why. But it does live. It's possible that my opponent over-expects how much it will do on the following turn, given that you can't exactly scout with a crit, and sometimes you can potentially miss it. Heavy Slam, not as much as I would have liked, but not the worst in the world. Also, keeping in mind that I do have the stamina boost against a physical attacker, potentially like an Arcanine coming. This is interesting. Kartana, unfortunately, yeah. But the good news is, Kartana can't attack both of my Pokemon here. Meaning that I will opt for a close oh, geez, I want to opt for a close combat against it. I mean, that's not a bad idea, though. You know, I just will. I'll opt for a close combat because I don't need to keep high defense if I survive a hit from it. And then there's also the alternative that if I do get rid of it, then it's Tapu Fini. So it's, I mean, I lower my special defense, but yeah, he's got Focus Sash. So that's okay. He goes for a Smart Strike. He'll kill Salamence. Yep. I mean, oh, geez. If he kills Mudsdale here with Muddy Water, I might be in for a bit of a pickle. There's a chance he doesn't, but he's also just one out. So, yeah, he does. Okay. I mean, I can go Fake Out against the Kartana, and, I mean, that may not actually kill at this point, but I'm not beating the Tapu Fini. So the thing that really hurt was the fact that I lost Tapu Bulu, but I didn't think I lost Tapu Bulu unreasonably. It was kind of unfortunate that I couldn't take 2 Shadow Balls and 2 Muddy Waters. I don't run, like, unimaginably good bulk, but yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't actually have a way to win. I have to Fake Out against the Kartana, hope I kill the Kartana, and then it's going to be, like, Flare Blitzing against the Tapu Fini. And that's not going to win, so I could have run had I wanted to. He's got Detect, so whatever. Doesn't make a difference, really. I mean, he's obviously just not wanting to... Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Alright, my opponent played well, but hopefully in the last battle for this team, at least for a while, we can get a win, which will be straight up after this. And now we get to hit run. And now we get to hit yes. There's always that little bit of lag. It's like you decide halfway during a turn, but you can't actually do it until sort of 20 seconds later. It's just a bit annoying. So we're versing a similar core with Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Snorlax, but then Klefki, Paragon 2, and Marchamp. I didn't think Klefki was VGC legal. I didn't. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, it can go lead Incineroar's still quite good for me. You know, I'm almost feeling a lead Tapu Bulu next to it, if I'm completely honest. Because my opponents haven't typically been leading Arcanine against me, which I feel is interesting. So I might lead... Watch me say that and lead Arcanine be, like, right next to me. Bringing Mudsdale... Ooh, jeez, I don't know about that, actually. And then... Milotic's not that great. I'm bringing Salamence as well. Yeah, Metagross and Milotic are not great for me in this battle. Milotic's good for Arcanine. Doesn't really beat Tapu Fini. I mean, I have better options for Marchamp than Milotic. Doesn't do much to Snorlax. Doesn't do much to Paragon and Klefki. It kind of sits there, neither an advantage or disadvantage. So Milotic's not great from that perspective. Metagross being Choice Scarfed may actually be the letdown to this team now that I'm looking at it. Like, before I was thinking, what's making this team like a little bit held back, and I'm thinking it might be Metagross at this point, which is interesting because Metagross was one of the first selection. I don't think it was one of the first selections for this team actually, but it was there very deliberately to stop Tapus. But I feel like because obviously it's not as good against Tapu Fini as it is the others, and I think Tapu Fini's become a lot more popular, which I think is very interesting. So the good news is Incineroar doesn't care about Prankster, so you know what, on this turn I'm not going to worry about a Protects or anything. I instead just want to go straight up for a Flare Blitz on the Klefki, and probably a Wood Hammer on the Tapu Fini, I'm feeling. Maybe Horn Leech is the smarter play. Yeah, I'll go Wood Hammer. Why not? Get more damage on whatever does actually decide to come in should he decide to swap out. Checks, so it doesn't matter. So it'll be interesting to see Klefki goes Reflect. That's smart given the fact that I've got 2 physical attackers out right now, but I'm not, like, terribly worried. Kind of expecting a light screen on this follow-up turn. And now that he's got the... oh, he's got eject button. A little bit strange, a little bit strange. I would figure you'd go light clay, given that you're going screens. Okay, well, I guess we'll see exactly who comes in. I'm feeling like an Arcanine would come in. Arcanine would be really good. Paragon 2. Okay, Paragon 2. That means that I'd want to go Taunt. Please be an attack. Far out. Special attack race again. I mean, Tapu Bulu does have a lot more defense than it does special defense, so that kind of makes sense. Now, I can go Taunt here. Klefki's already taken some damage, so I'm not, like, terribly distraught about keeping Incineroar, and at least not as much as I did need it to begin with. And then Tapu Bulu should be faster than Tapu Fini and Paragon 2, but I don't want to take additional damage from a Wood Hammer followed by a potential Ice Beam or something, so instead I've opted for Horn Leech now. My opponent goes Snorlax. That's okay too. I do get some damage off on that. Taunt will stop a Trick Room, which is honestly the biggest problem that I would have right now. And then I get some Horn Leech damage off on this Snorlax, which is nowhere near as much as I would want it to be, given the Reflect, but is still a bit of a pain, which is good. So obviously the Paragon 2 is not happy about the fact that it was taunted. I kind of want to taunt Snorlax as well so that he can't go for a belly drum or anything like that, because that would just be terrible for me. And now I'm thinking maybe if I could go for a Horn Leech against the Paragon 2 on this turn. Just, my plan here is to just create ongoing taunt issues for Pokemon that want to stay in a bit more. And just do setup moves or anything like that, and then just chip damage away. Ice Beam, yeah, I was scouting a bit for that. Now this should do a lot, shouldn't kill. That does a lot more than I wanted to. He's going to return. Okay, so he obviously recognized Tapu Bulu as the big problem, and that's bad because again, Tapu Bulu is the best thing I had for Tapu Fini. Don't tell me I made the same mistake twice. That'd be really bad. I gotta bring in Mudsdale because this team's actually really weak to Ice Beam. Or at least the 4 that I brought are really weak to Ice Beam. Yeah. Okay, now what could I do? I mean, I can go Fleblitz. I can always go Fleblitz. So let's go Fleblitz against the Paragon 2. And maybe Rock Slide. Let's see what Fleblitz Rock Slide looks like after the turn. But again, a bunch of physical attackers means that the Reflect that my opponent's Klefki went for was really smart. I mean, like, obviously it was smart because, like, it's Reflect. Like, how bad could it actually be? Unless you're using it against special attackers. But, you see what I mean? Paragon 2 flinched. Awesome. Good news for me. Return on the Incineroar. Live that, which is good. Okay, how many more turns of Reflect have you actually got? Paragon 2's Taunt wore off. You got one more turn of Reflect. One more turn. Okay. I do want to go for another Fleblitz against Paragon 2 though. Because I just want it dead. And then instead this time what I'm instead going to do is go for a close combat against Paragon 2. I don't think I can win because I can't get rid of the Tapu Fini though. Like, ultimately, all of this doesn't matter because I don't have a way to take down Tapu Fini. Oh, I do have Supersonic Sky Strike. That'd be the only way. That'd be the only way. Good, we take it down. I was thinking for a second, holy crap, that's not going to win, but it's fine. We take it down. I can follow up on this incoming turn with a close combat on the Snorlax, which would be really cool. It's likely he goes back out into Klefki to get another Reflect up. If he goes Tapu Fini, I mean, I've got to go Salamence anyway. If he goes Klefki, I go for a Fire Blast on it. If he goes for Tapu Fini, I go for a Supersonic Sky Strike on it. It's as simple as that. Like, it's not a very hard turn at this point. And either way, I'm going for a close combat against the Snorlax. The Intimidate drop on the Snorlax is nice. So there is a little bit of a way back into this battle. There is. Let's go Fire Blast on this Klefki. I don't think he'd be expecting that that Fire Blast. Now, I'm trying to think. Close Combat may not kill from there. And I think I outsped his Snorlax with Mudsdale, so I might instead opt for a high horsepower on the Snorlax. Just to sort of look. I mean, about the only thing that I do is keep my defenses somewhat up. He goes light screen. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming at all. But I mean, that means Klefki goes down. Awesome. Which means I don't have to put up with the Reflect when I'm Supersonic Sky Striking. High Horsepower does maximum damage against the Snorlax, which turns out is not as much as I would want it to be. He could go for a Belly Drum, you know? A Curse. Okay, that's alright. It's not terrible. Good news is, I have Supersonic Sky Strike to use against the Tapu Fini, and then I can follow that up with a close combat on the Snorlax. Now that being said, I have to Supersonic Sky Strike against the Tapu Fini because it's literally the only thing I can do to beat it out. And then I have to close combat against the Snorlax. I'm still foreseeing, even though I'm in a better position than I thought I'd be, I'm still foreseeing my downfall here. Because I'd have to get more damage than what I'm expecting. I'm expecting Tapu Fini to be sort of a third health left. And then Snorlax, now that it's got its defense up, sort of a quarter health left. But I think I'd need one of them gone, and I don't think I can deliver that. Holy crap. Wikiberry just makes that irrelevant. Oh, and he can't get confused off of that because Misty Terrain. Yeah, that's smart. That's crazy how that does nothing. That's a super effective hit. I know he's got one stage of defense increased, but that's still so crazy. And I didn't even live that because I've got -2 defense. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's rather incredible, that. I mean, I have to go Draco Meteor to even stand a chance, and I mean, he's behind light screen, so that's really cool. He's not reliant on Trick Room to get him the win. I know Snorlax is good, but that's kind of crazy. I would have expected, close combat from Mudsdale to do more there. It's heal pulse as if it matters. That's just kind of annoying, really. Well, guys, we end this team on a low note. I thought I'd try to find a win and maybe I could do 2 more episodes rather than just this one here, but I just played another battle and I'm not going to show it, but I basically lost because Metagross 90%, as per normal. By that, you guys may or may not know, it's Metagross has 90% accuracy on basically all the moves that you want to use with it, that being Meteor Mash and Z Headbutt. Lost because of that, and I got fairly triggered by that. I'm not going to pretend I didn't. Now I don't want to play this team anymore for the day. I don't think I could do any more VGC recording today, and I can't be bothered picking up the team anymore because I kind of wanted to move on to the top tier series that I'm bringing forward to you guys, and then also later on I might bring a different team, so I'm not going to pick up this team again. There's plenty of wins with this team if you go through some of the other episodes, so feel free to do that. The team is not actually bad. I got a little bit screwed over in the battle, which I just explained, and then in the others I got played by good opponents and some difficult matchups, so can't really be terribly frustrated, but yeah, like I said, if you want to see the team a little bit more, go through some of the other episodes. If you want to check out the team specifics, like sets and stuff, there is a team builder video at the end of the playlist for the International Challenge. Keep in mind how I said during that video that the team's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I feel like at this point I can say confidently Metagross is the letdown to the team because of its 90% accurate issue. So if you're trying to figure out a way to better the team and you want to use that, I'd look at Metagross being the weakness and either trying to limit its weakness. Maybe you want to opt for 100% accurate moves rather than the more power, but I don't think that's going to suffice, so you may want to figure out another way. But yeah, leave likes if you did enjoy, leave likes if you're hyped for the top tier series, and subscribe for more Pokemon content. Freddy Fishfinger, out.